We back and we back. Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man. It's the 2-hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake.
Coming to you live, putting on for the city.
This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake.
And it's coming home to Texas. It's coming home all the way to Austin, Texas, baby.
Welcome back to another edition of the 2-Hour Lunch Break Podcast, man. A podcast for Austin, from Austin. I'm your host, Trot with Zeus, and today, man, we're sitting down with an Oklahoma-born, Austin-based hip-hop artist who's been carving out his own lane through raw storytelling, intentional lyricism, and a real commitment to authenticity, man. On top of that, he's the mind behind Something to Say, a platform that's been creating real space for artists to perform, connect, and actually be seen the right way. So today, man, we're going to be getting into his journey from his early influences and moving to Austin to building community through live events and how that all ties into his latest album, BTS, man. We're also going to be talking about sobriety, growth, and what it really takes to stay grounded while chasing something bigger, man. We got the homie Boooka in the building, man. How are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. Them intros is getting like, they get fuller every time I sit down with somebody, man. I feel like I'm actually out here doing something.
Yeah, man. You a big dog in the city, man. Had to bring you in the right way, man. Roll out the red carpet for you, you know?
I appreciate it 100%.
Oh, man, but, now that we got you here, man, number one, appreciate you taking time out of your schedule. I know you're a busy man. You got a lot of pots on the stove. So while I got you, man, let's go ahead and talk about your background, right? So off air, we were talking about your hometown and all that stuff. So even though you based out of Austin right now, you actually were born in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Talk about that story a little bit and how like you ended up going from Oklahoma to another destination to Austin. Like how did that happen?
Yeah, so my pops was in the Army, so military kid. We moved around a lot, but before we moved around, we spent a lot of years in Lawton, Oklahoma. And man, Oklahoma just a small box, a small box.
Right.
Nothing going on, man. Every time I go back to visit it, I just be like, you're not missing nothing. You ain't missing
at all.
Bro. Yeah. So eventually I ended up finding my way to Atlanta. Spent my most of the time in Atlanta. Kind of just doing music, getting in trouble, and said, "All right, man, can I cuss over here?"
No, yeah, feel free.
Fuck it.
All right.
Said, all my folks, they ended up going to Texas. So I was like, I wanted to get closer to the folks.
Gotcha.
So ended up coming out. They live in Killeen. I'm not finna.
Hell no.
Yeah, I'm not finna live in Killeen. Killeen damn near like Lawton.
All right.
Okay. Ended up being in Austin.
Okay. So, man, I know I was doing some research on you, and I know you said that one of your early influences were a lot of early 2000 artists, like especially artists like Lil Wayne, right? What was it about that early 2000s era that made you say this is something that I want to do?
I'm sorry. Well, when I first got into music and just creative shit, it was really poetry, and it's funny because poetry back then it was like, man, this is how you get the girls,
right?
You gotta know how to talk to them through the poetry. And then poetry kind of let me into expressing myself.
Okay.
And then I just remember being in the back of my dad's He had this little Mazda pickup truck, and my dad was a big Lil Wayne fan. My dad's from Shreveport, Louisiana. Yeah. And he was playing. I remember a song too. He was playing hustler music. I just remember being in the back of the car, having this feeling I'm 11 years old, and I'm having this feeling yo, this is the realest shit.
Yeah, I thought that shit was so hard.
Yeah, this is the realest shit I've ever heard.
Okay.
I'm already doing poetry. Maybe I could do this, start rapping. So Wayne ended up being my biggest influence when I was a kid. First rap name was Leo effing Baby. I was just saying, and I was doing all the trying to do the punchlines and the voice inflections, man. I was just trying to be just like Wayne.
Right. There we go. So man, let's talk about your name, right? So I know your legal name ain't Boooka.
No.
Right? No. So I know you had done another interview once upon a time, and you said Boooka, it isn't just a stage name. It's kind of like who you are in a sense. How do you balance Boooka and also just being yourself in real life?
Yeah. I think ever since I changed my stage name to Boooka, which Boooka is a name that my family calls me.
Okay.
So I was kind of going through, like I said, Leo effing Baby.
Right.
Hero was another stage name that I had, no rhyme or reason. And then I was like, man, fuck it, I want to be Boooka, because that's what my family calls me anyway.
Yeah.
So now it's really become less of me trying to like have the two separate, because I'm living the same exact life.
Right.
You know, I think my family more so is shocked because, you know, they're used to being the only people exclusively calling me Boooka. To you know, I had an album release event in this venue with damn near like 100 people in here, and my mom was here and she's hearing everybody call me Boooka, and she like that was her first time seeing me live, so she's like, you know, I'm not calling her as much as I should. I'm not going to visit her as much as I should. So she come up and see everybody call me Boooka, shit, all that. That's what the hell you had going on.
Right. Right. I get it. So like low key, I actually kind of got like a story that's real similar to that.
Yeah.
So you know, everybody calls me Zeus, right? But Zeus was like a childhood nickname. Like I actually like my real name is Zach.
Yeah.
But I had a homeboy that had a stuttering problem, and he couldn't say Zeus, so he couldn't say Zach, so he was saying like Zook Duke or some shit like that initially, right? Like he had me sounding like a Doberman or something like that.
Yeah.
And eventually, like probably by the time I got to like 4th grade, it evolved from that to Zeus, and then literally like everybody I went to school with called me that, and then somehow like after college, you know, when I had it like as like my IG name, and it ended up catching on like around Austin. So now everybody, you know, that knows me, like in this sense, everybody calls me Zeus. People don't even know my real name at this point. So I relate a lot to that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, when people call me like, so my real name Leo. So when people call me Leo, it catch me off guard.
Yeah.
Like, who are you talking to?
I know it. So, man, back to your music, right?
Yeah.
So, your sound has evolved a lot. I know you had a couple different projects in the past. I know one was Nevermind NVM, and you know, BRB, Be Right Back, and it's a lot of different sounds in comparison to your latest project.
Yeah,
kind of talk about how, like, you know, musically you've evolved, you know, from those earlier projects.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more of what I've always been doing, which is really just being like personal, subject matter heavy. Yeah. But I think is I've grown older, more wise, and more knowledgeable, more intentional for sure too. It's just better, you know. Right. I like to just say it's better. I think my biggest thing whenever I came to Austin was I felt like I wanted to just improve my discography. You know what I'm saying? And that took me, you know, being honest about what I was producing at the time and understanding what I needed to do to get to the next level.
Gotcha. I love that.
Yeah.
So, okay, so piggybacking off of that, right? So I know you got another project that just dropped, BTS, Behind the Scenes.
Yep.
Right? Of course, on the surface, it does mean behind the scenes, but what does that name really represent to you?
Yeah. So like we were saying before, like, so all the albums are just acronyms, and it kind of was an accident. Like when I first started doing it, and it was just a theme that I noticed people, you know, almost kind of created for themselves, which is always dope as a creator when people low key doing the work for you. Like sometimes you don't really have a super dope meaning behind some shit, and then you see people giving you all these theories and ideas.
Right?
And it's like, you know what? That's what I meant. That's exactly what I meant.
Yeah, I'm like, you got it.
Like, I was, of course, I was thinking that.
Right.
You know, so BTS was to continue the acronym. At the time of it, like you said, behind the scenes was more so just inviting people into the things that I felt like I was experiencing, you know, that aren't on the forefront when you're online, posting on social media, you know, posting all the positivity and, and just, you know, the kumbaya shit. So it was just like, you know, this should get a little dark. This should get a little, you know, just in trying to be authentic with it. You know, I think like telling the stories that my stories I feel like are very specific, but they're not something that nobody else has gone through before. So I think it's really important through music to use it as a tool to, you know, connect with somebody else, be relatable.
There we go. So, okay. So I know you also been, you know, talking about your sobriety journey lately, right? Which, number one, shout out to you. Because a lot of people, that'd be a demon for a lot of people.
It's
you know
hard,
what I mean? Man, so, you know, let's talk about that. And also, man, how did, you know, now you being sober, how did that impact the way you created BTS?
Man, it's almost like night and day. It's almost night and day. I don't even know what it is. You know, I wish I could give a better answer to that question, but I do think I seen something online the other day actually where somebody was like, being sober shouldn't be a goal. It should be a prerequisite to your goals. So, you know, you should want to be sober to achieve whatever goal that it is that you have. And even before I even seen that post, that's how I've been thinking about it anyways. You know, I've been sober for 800 or something days now. And you know, I've tried to be sober before, but you know, I've had plenty of fuck ups. But I think now that I'm looking, like, I'm actually tired of my own shit, so now it's kind of easy for me to be sober.
Yeah.
You know, and to answer your question, I'm kind of still learning. Like, even though it's been like 2 years and some change, like, I'm kind of still learning as I go as far as like, what is this that's allowing me to be a fucking event curator and drop twice a year. That was like, that's so like, as a rapper too, when I felt like you should be dropping so much music so often, dropping twice a year for me was like, oh, you'll never do that. And so now it's like I'm dropping 2-3 times a year.
Right.
So I don't know, man, but being sober definitely changed my life.
I was gonna say, you definitely seem a lot more locked in now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As far as like creating and staying consistent and stuff like that. So, man, hats off to you for that.
Yeah, appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Man, so, you know, talking about BTS, man, I know, you know, a lot of your content is like really personal. You talk about like emotions, feelings, stuff like that. It's very like, it comes across like you're giving pieces of yourself through your music, right? Now, with that said though, is there any track on BTS that like stands out to you where you were like super vulnerable or something like that for you?
It was Honey Dip. I think Honey Dip was initially Honey Dip was the one where I felt like it stood out the most because it's a story every artist relates to.
Right.
Where, you know, a lot of times when you're in romantic relationships and you're an artist, you know, we are asking for our partners to have this unwavering belief in our dreams, even if we don't have anything to show for it.
Yeah.
So it's like, and every time we're like, you know, we're gonna get this big break, but we haven't even had a crumb to show any inclination that this was gonna be what we hope for it to be. So I think Honey Dip. I think I have another record on there called Fair, which Fair is it's just you just gotta listen to it. I just feel like I was listening to it today in the car over here, and I was just lost. Like,
yeah.
And shout out to Snooze and Chad who made that beat, man. Chad played the horn on there. It's just a real ambient type of track.
There we go.
That you can kind of just like life feels still for just a moment, you know.
Gotcha. There we go. I love that. I was gonna say, at least from what I can tell, I know you kind of did like some hints of some lo-fi in there too, a little bit too.
Yeah.
I definitely love that sound.
Yeah.
You know,
like I was saying before, I'll be listening to Knowledge, man. Like, it's strange because it's like I tell people, if you're a fan of Knowledge, you'll be a fan of me, even though I'm not making beats and I'm not doing exactly with what he's doing. But I feel like there's a feeling to it that people could maybe hear if you're, you know, what's what I'm looking for, if you're aware of like, you know, Knowledge's discography.
Gotcha. I was gonna say the content is definitely relatable between the two. You know, so I get that. So okay, so you know, still sticking with BTS, right? So for the person that's never heard of Boooka or anything like that, right? And they listen to BTS for the first time. What is something that you kind of want them to walk away from understanding about you?
I think I want them to walk away with something, you know. I think it's up to them to figure out what it is that they're leaving with. But I just feel like, man, as an artist, like, man, there's so much microwave shit out. There's so much just clutter, and you know, I think now is more important than ever for artists to really look at their music as a responsibility, man. You know, as much as some artists, you know, they don't want to say that they want it to be fun, you know, which I'm having fun with what I'm doing, but you know, I feel like it's a responsibility to contribute to, you know, the artistry. So, I mean, if I were to have my choice, I want people to walk away from it just understanding that, like, nigga, there's substance. Like, there's substance out here, you know, like, it's not just TikTok.
Right, yeah, niggas dancing, doing all that.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, there's more to it than that. You're right, right. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's a real substance, man. And as an artist, man, the shit that we say on these mics and the what we display, I know we're not looking to be role models and this, that, and the third, man, but that's we're leaders, you know what I'm saying? And people are looking to us. I have people all the time looking at me for like mentorship, and it's because of like what I'm putting out there. I'm not, you know, just doing shit just to do it. I'm not making you know dance tracks. I want to make a dance track.
Okay, yeah. There we
you know
go.
what I'm saying? No doctor motherfuckers making a dance track.
Right.
But it's like, man, I'm a real person with real experiences, and I want to share that with you, and I want you to leave with like, damn, like this motherfucker feels exactly what I'm going through.
Gotcha. There we go. I love that. Okay, so switching gears away from the music, man. Let's talk about something to say.
Okay.
Right. So I know, I was looking into it, the creation behind it, and creating something to say. You kind of saw a gap in like Austin music scene, right? Mm-hmm. What exact gap did you see, and like what made you create something to say?
Yeah. I think more so was the gap was just the level of care that was kind of put into some of the other events. Okay. I think it was easy for me because, me being an artist myself and then transitioning to organizer, I was able to kind of see, okay, if I was an organizer, if I was an artist, and I think I'm saying this wrong. If I'm an organizer, I know what I'm looking for as an organizer, and I know what I'm looking for as an artist. Right. So when I invented something to say, I wanted to just, core artists in ways that I felt like I necessarily wasn't courted when I was performing. I'm still performing. And so that's where I came in with something to say. So I would take an artist and I would build all the marketing around this artist's aesthetic, whatever their brand is. We had Brittany Bella, so we did like a magazine Mean Girl type of look. We had Ryan Dove, so we did kind of like a video game-ish type of more playful type of flyer. Even down to the questions that we asked, the interviews that we're doing. So something to say, man, was just really amplifying the voices of the musicians, and then also showing them like when I'm working with an organizer on an event, this is how it should be.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm curious, right? I know, just like you were saying, you're kind of playing both sides of it. You're an artist and a curator, right? Like how did you balance both of those roles without like one affecting the other? Like how do you work that out? Because that seems like you kind of walk a tightrope.
That shit is hard. That's definitely hard, man. Start feeling like you don't have time to be a musician, be an artist first. So you do have to kind of accept it, like you're not the main character anymore in this story because you're a promoter. So you're what I'm saying, uplifting the artist next to you, but you're doing it joyfully because you just do. You're just find fulfillment in assisting the next artist and an opportunity. Sometimes even instead of taking an opportunity for yourself, you're giving it to an artist who is also deserving of it. I think as far as finding the time to be an artist, shit depends on what your day job is for sure. But I spend a lot of nights up anyway. Like I spend a lot of nights up till like 3 a.m. just writing. Gotcha. Just writing. I feel like I've learned that I can operate on like 6 hours of sleep. So if I can get that 6 in, I'll be straight, man. So, and I think, it's time. It's time. If you care about it, you know what I'm saying, you'll find time for sure.
Gotcha. Okay, so I know you've had a lot of artists come through the platform, right?
Yeah.
Is there anybody that like stands out for you? Like, man, like they came through and they killed it. Like, is it like a couple of people on your list that stick out?
Yeah, and I think I've actually had them headline every event, you know what I'm saying? So every event we've had a headliner, except for the last one. So majority of the artists that I've seen of standouts, I've kind of already worked with them, and that would be like the Ryan Dove, Brittany Bella. I had EMP and English Fox. Grow Child. Yeah. My boy Soldier was on there. Me and Soldier partner on a lot of events. So he headlined the last one. So. But I still do have like a list of like, when people come to something to say, I'm essentially making like a radar of like, this is somebody I could see either headlining the Something to Say platform or, going on to another event that I might do that's not an open mic.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so I'm curious, right? So I know y'all have like y'all have done amazing shows. The aesthetic is fire, everything like that, right? But I know there's also another side to that, right? Like, what are some of the challenges you've experienced, putting together events like that?
The challenge, man, I'd be lying if I said there was some challenges, man. It's kind of been, it's kind of just been
pretty smooth.
It's been smooth. I think it's really been time consuming is the only thing. Okay. But I think like, man, like I know what I'm looking for. If I don't know the answer to a question, I know where to get the answer, where to get the answers. I might get told no sometimes, and that's not a problem. That's just a simple pivot into something else. But man, so far just throwing the events has been just, easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm not gonna lie. Hey,
right.
Knock on wood. Wherever,
right. Yeah.
wherever.
Stay that way. Yeah.
But yeah. It's been pretty smooth so far.
Okay. Gotcha. So I know you've been an artist in the city for a while. You're also, now you're, venturing into the curator space, like, curating stuff for other artists that are here. So you got some insight into the Austin music scene that not everybody has, right? So, Austin is known as a music city and everything like that. But from your perspective, what do you feel like is missing for hip hop artists in town?
Man, I feel like my answer to that has changed so much.
Okay.
Because I'm a villager as much as I am somebody who is like the leader of a village. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I go out and I see so much. Mm-hmm. Maybe some things that are not necessarily promoted, or sometimes the marketing of an event just isn't the best. Yeah. Some people don't care to market their event like you need to be here. Mm-hmm. Some people just like throwing events. Yeah. Having their people on and it being fun. So I feel like there's so many different outlets and events that people can go to that kind of feed whatever part of your soul that you're needing fulfillment on. Mm-hmm. It's hard for me to say that there's something missing in the hip hop music scene. I think what I really want to, I actually just went to a show with my homeboy. Me and Soldier went to a show for this dude named Adam on Earth, who he is like a black, like screamo rock and roll artist.
Oh wow, yeah.
And it's hard to even say there was something missing there because like he's like on a show where they got a black artist headlining it with like 3 other black artists. Shit. I'm sitting here shot because I'm thinking I'm finna go in this event and Adam's gonna be the only one.
The only one, yeah.
But it's like 5 of them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's not necessarily something missing. Mm-hmm. Maybe the support of one another. I think it's strange that there hasn't been like an artist to break out of Austin when there is like legitimate talent here, and I don't know why that is. Mm-hmm. But that's all I can really think of.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm a native Austinite, and just like you said, I mean, we've had talent, in the city for decades, and we just never had like one guy like break through. Because Dallas has had a scene. Austin has had, not Austin, Houston has had a moment, but for whatever reason, nobody's ever come out of Austin like that,
And I go to all these shows and I be seeing these artists and it's like, bro, they're fire, like they're super fire, like, and it's, I don't know. Hopefully I can find out and fix that. I really want to be a part of making, the next artist blow, you know what I'm saying, out of Austin in whatever capacity I can. And, that's kind of what Something to Say is here for. To figure out what type of resources we can provide for an artist in order to make that jump for their career.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So I'm curious on a personal note, on as far as like your creative process being an artist, right? Kind of walk us through that a little bit. Like, are you more of like a write everything down type, or do you like, are you like, just like you saying, you had a Wayne influence, or like you doing like you don't write nothing down, it's just all in your head. Like, what does that creative process look like for you musically?
I don't think I'm talented enough yet to not write nothing, to write nothing down.
Okay.
But I think my creative process is more so like I've tried journaling before. Yeah. I don't know how to journal. You have to kind of know how to journal because I feel like when I tried to journal, I was writing the same thing every day. Like today I went to work, I ate a tuna sandwich, went to the gym. But when I'm writing music, I'm letting out an emotion that I don't quite know what it is yet. So a lot of times when I'm writing to like beats, I write something, I write like 4 bars and I look at it and it's like, yo, who wrote that? Like what is that? Why am I feeling? And I keep going, and it's like, damn, I didn't know I felt like that. And so now when I'm reading back at this song that I wrote, it's like, okay, I'm mad because, they fired me from my job, and that's what I'm feeling. That I'm not knowing that this is anger and where it's coming from. Right. And then I'm able to take that and understand what that emotion is, and then actually make like a quality song out of it. So sometimes it's writing about the same topic 2-3 times before you're able to fully understand it and then put some magic behind it.
Right. Okay. So I do have a question for you as far as like work-life balance, right? So I know we were talking off air. I know you were talking about like you also have like a 9-to-5 grind, right? Like you're a, you're creative. You're also, a curator.
Yeah.
You got to balance, family relationships, personal relationships, everything like that. Like, what does it look like for you when you like, you want to decompress and kind of get away from it all? Like, do you go? I know you had mentioned like you might hit the gym, or you might kick it with your family, or you might, go on a run. Like, what does that look like for you?
Man, what does that look like, man? So I know the decompressing is like, man, I like going to the movies. Like,
okay.
I love the A24 movies. Anytime
Right,
A24 got something, I'm locked in. It's the gym, it's the
Mm-hmm.
battle rap. But I think the biggest part of it is like, I thoroughly enjoy a lot of the shit that I'm doing. So it's not necessarily I need to decompress from any of what I'm quote unquote going through. Like, man, I like doing the work. Don't hate my job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I like going outside to people's events. I like throwing the events.
Yep.
I love my girl. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like there's not really anything that I'm not doing anything I don't want to do essentially. So I don't know.
All good. Okay, so I know we were talking off air. You actually kind of got like a horror movie kick, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorites? Like what sticks out for you horror movie wise?
Hereditary is number one.
Okay.
And then what's funny? Hereditary is number one. And then I gotta start thinking about like the two through five. But the Conjuring series is like they don't really got a bad movie in the Conjuring series.
Right.
The Insidious series is like a close
crazy.
It's like a close third on that list.
Yeah.
And then what else? Four. Man, I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I was saying it was a movie. I forgot what it's called, but I think it's called The Prophecy. Where it's like that little boy, he's reincarnated or some shit like that. I'm a edit when I edit this. I'm gonna put up the the picture of the movie.
It's all good.
And then the Smile movie, Smile Water 2. Like, Like for the first one to be as good as it was, and then they dropped the second one, and the second one is like that much better. Than the first. So, but those are probably like my top 5 on the horror movies.
Okay.
For sure.
Now, a side question: have you ever thought like about incorporating some of that into your music?
Somebody asked me that. I don't know how to do that.
Right? Yeah. I'm like that's tough to balance, know. But I'm just curious. Okay.
Yeah. Somebody was asking me like, is my music inspired by any of the? Because they know I'm like a movie nerd, and not really. Like movies is like really my escapism, and TV like I like Black Mirror.
I love Black Mirror.
I'm a fan of like short series.
Right.
So I like 1 or 2 seasons and we out of there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's just my escapism.
So I got a personal one for you. What do you think of Watchmen? The Watchmen season. What series?
Watchmen. You might gotta remind me what the
had Regina King was in it. And
I don't think I've seen it. I think I might have scrolled past that.
Fam, you got to get into it, bruh.
My most recent one, it was something on, I don't even remember. It was like the Lincoln. Okay, you seen that the dude who be in Malcolm in the Middle, the dad. He was in
Bryan Cranston. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
He was in a TV show. It might have been 2 or 3 seasons. He was like a lawyer, and his son ended up doing like a hit and run.
He was like a judge, right? Yeah, I've seen some of that. Yeah, it's crazy. They got him doing everything, bro.
That was fire. That was fire. So that's the type of shit I like.
Okay.
So when it comes to crime, like I fuck with Law and Order.
Right.
The Law and Order shit. There was another one with I think his name was like Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
He was in an Apple. It was an Apple TV series.
Okay.
Where spoiler alert. It was like
it's all good.
It was like he fucking he was being accused of murdering his side chick.
Oh, I seen that one.
By his, you gotta check it out.
Okay.
He was getting accused of murdering a side chick, I believe, by like the public.
Right.
And that's how his wife found out that he was even having an affair. Ooh. But he, you know what I'm saying, he was saying he didn't do it.
Right.
But it was like, well, you know what I'm saying, well, who did it type shit. So they had like a whole like I think it's like 8 episodes. Okay. You gotta check it out. That shit's fire. Into that. Okay. But I fuck with like the murder mystery, crime shit, the psychological shit. That's my lane right there.
There we go.
And like all the Black Mirror, like I know Black Mirror like the back of my hand. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what you think of Lovecraft Country?
You know what? I didn't stay committed to that one.
Oh, fam, you got it, dog.
Everybody tells me that. Bro. I do got to go back and watch that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit, right? Let's go ahead and talk about the future.
Okay.
Right? I know, we were talking about you got your projects that you've had come out, you got events that you got going, you managing to juggle your personal relationships successfully. But what does the next 3 to 5 years look like for you? Not as just an artist, but like as like someone, now that's a part of the culture, right? Are we talking tours or additional events? What does that look like?
Yeah. I kind of, in my world, I'm putting out music and I'm stepping more into like the independent artist like lifestyle, right? So like even like when I did my album release party, I sold a lot of fucking albums. You know what I'm saying? I sold a lot of albums digitally, a lot of albums physically.
Right.
And it happened fast, and it's still people buying albums currently, and that kind of was an introduction of like, I used to think selling merch was so hard,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So like, that really opened up my eyes to like what it means to be an independent artist and funding, you know what I'm saying, your own career. Mm-hmm. So I imagine myself kind of like just getting my hands more dirty with just like the types of merch we're doing. Like, I might, take some time to partner with a brand out here and start doing fucking candles and doing rugs.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Doing a documentary, just something to go along with the music for sure.
That'd be live.
And I would love, like, for the Something to Say platform, my plan is to continue to build that out.
Gotcha.
But I don't want to be as involved in certain things.
Right.
Like, I would love to have a team under me that could, do the social media posting.
Yeah.
Even the hosting. Like, I think Something to Say is great because I host, you know what I'm saying? I think I'm a good host. I would love to have somebody else come.
Right.
And host that for sure.
Okay. It kind of sounds like you want to be able to like build a machine and like let it go. Kind of.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah,
gotcha.
Like, man, I'm trying to step into like just more passive, like hands off things working. I do all the work for it and then pass it off, and then it just keep operating.
Got it.
And I can invest my time, because like you were saying, like that work-life balance thing, like, this is the first time in my life where I feel like I've been able to comfortably write and create music nonstop.
Okay.
And it's a feeling that I don't want to let go away. Right. So it's like the more I can, delegate, alleviate other tasks, I could focus on being Boooka, the writer. You know?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. All right. So now we got the final question of the night, right? So before we wrap up, we actually ask this question to everybody that comes through on the show, right? Anybody that comes through the podcast. It's basically, who do you think would be a good guest, for the podcast? Now that you got a chance to chop it up, good vibes, good conversation, but it has to be somebody, that personally in your contacts, where you can hit them up, hit their line, be like, hey, I chopped it up with Zeus on the 2-hour lunch break. You need to come through. Who would that person or people be? You could listen as many as you want.
I was just gonna ask you. I was like, can you interview two people like this? Because y'all set up like a table. Okay, so Jasmine Games and Michael Hatcher, every word poetry.
Hey, okay.
So they are they run the number one. They were easily, hands down, no debates. They run the number one poetry organization in Austin, Texas, for sure. They do a monthly open mic, free of charge, packed out every Monday, packed out. They do live theater productions.
Okay.
Man, they just the big dogs. You know what I'm saying? They do a lot with just, giving back to the poetry community and putting spotlights on other poets. So Jasmine Games and Michael Hatcher for sure.
There we go. Hey, y'all heard them first, man. Let's line that up, man. We're going to lock it in. Man, let's go ahead and, before we wrap up, let's go ahead and plug your social media handles. Where can everybody find you, your music, and something to say?
Yeah, so for the Dragon Ball Z nerds, my Instagram is Majin Boooka, and Boooka has 3 O's, Booooka, and that is also my music name, Boooka, 3 O's. And you can type that in, find me on Spotify, Apple Music, or you can go straight to Bandcamp and buy the album. You ain't even got to stream it.
There we go. All right, man, that wraps up this edition of the 2-Hour Lunch Break podcast, man. Big shout out to the homie Boooka for pulling up and chopping it up with us. Shout out to our production, Ever holding it down behind the boards.
Shout out to Ever.
You can tap in with him on Instagram at Cafiotto. Man, if you rocking with the conversation, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications on YouTube so you don't miss a drop. New episodes of the 2 Hour Lunch Break stream every Thursday on all DSPs, and you can find us on Instagram and X at 2HLBPOD. Austin, man, we do this for the city, man. A podcast for Austin, from Austin. Thank you for tapping in. We out.
And it's coming home to Texas. It's coming home all the way to Austin, Texas, baby.